How do I tell my daughter about being an old woman? With a note from Dad. Hi, Avery. I want to talk to you about being an old woman. On the Jocko Podcast, there was a guest named Ryan Hendrickson. He wrote a book, Tip of the Spear, where he describes a story his father told him. There are two old men sitting on a porch. One old man was miserable. He had let life's chances pass him by and now was haunted with ideas of what could have been. The other old man was totally fulfilled by life because he had lived life to the fullest. Ryan's father left Ryan with a powerful question. What kind of old man do you want to be? We make choices every day. These choices will determine what kind of old man or old woman we will grow up to be. Let us remember that we must honor and serve our future selves and grow up to be old men and women we will be proud of. I love you. Love, Dad. So I was listening to the Jocko podcast, and Jocko had this guest on, Ryan Hendrickson. This was years ago. And the podcast was so, in many ways, unrelatable because this was a guy who had gotten injured and he wanted to go back so badly after these terrible injuries, which I would never want to do. I would never want to go in the first place. So that's why it was a little bit unrelatable. But within that podcast, that story about the two old men sitting on the porch and what type of old man you want to be hit me like a ton of bricks, because to me, that is such a great reframe. It really makes you think about how your actions today will project forward into the future. And if you think of your old self, your future self, that's 80 years old, how do you want to end up? And how you end up then is how you behave now. And you are eventually going to become your future self. And I just love this reframe. It totally stuck with me. And I'm so grateful that I heard this podcast. So I had to share this with my daughter and write this out. And I'll show you. I've written it all out, and then I'm going to read it to her tonight. So this is one that I'm super excited about. And that is today's note from Dad.